Alright, today I'm going to be reacting to Disc 2 of the Beatles' White Album. If you haven't seen Part 1 of this, make sure to go check it out. I listened to Disc 1 all the way up to Julia. Make sure to go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. Link in the description down below. Let's just get right into it. First track is Birthday. Okay, really catchy riff to start us off. Ooh, nice. Good percussion here. Whoa. I love how this song is progressing. It's just like cool piano sound. Wow. These guitars kind of remind me of Led Zeppelin. Damn. It was really good. Great percussion work on that track. Like, the drums were just insane. I feel like on the first half of the album we had this kind of more raspy delivery from the vocals, and you're kind of getting that here too. Now, I'm not gonna mix this one up because apparently it's both Paul and John. And George apparently is on the bridge too. So I'm not gonna get it wrong this time, guys. Don't worry. What a banger. Kind of repetitive lyrically, but I don't think they're going for necessarily the deepest or most profound lyrical track. All right, next track is Yer Blues.
Yes, I'm lonely.
Whoa. I mean, speaking of Led Zeppelin, this is kind of exactly that. That bluesy, blues rock Led Zeppelin vibe. Good bass tone, dude. Love the crunch to it. Ooh, good rasp. Nice little bass run there. That was sick. Reason why. Damn. That piercing tone on the right there. Whoa. That was really good. I mean, it's obviously like pulling from, you know, kind of Led Zeppelin blues rock stuff. Really good guitar tones. I loved just the groove of that track and how slow it was, but you still had some really nice intricacies with the guitars and drum fills and bass fills. Because that was Lennon, right? I mean, Genius says it's Lennon, but knowing my track record with these videos, you guys are probably going to say it's McCartney down below. Great track. Very different for the Beatles. I mean, they kind of did a Beach Boys inspired track on the first disc of this album. I think it was actually the first song. So it seems like on this album, they're not afraid to just kind of pull inspiration from these other artists. Really good. Let's keep going. This second disc is honestly off to a better start than the first disc. So we'll see if this continues. Mother Nature's Son. Oh, he tricked me.
Sitting, singing songs for everyone.
Really good guitar playing here, man. Got a little horn coming in.
Sit beside us.
Love that walk down. Oh, and then we come back up.
The pretty sound of music.
Really interesting kind of kick sound there. Really kind of soft and pillowy. Such good melodies. That's got to be one of my favorite, like, McCartney ballads, I feel like. Well, it's actually not really a ballad, but one of his more, like, stripped back acoustic tracks. So beautiful. The guitar picking and just that performance was so good. I love hearing all the fret slides and just, I don't know, there's a lot of finesse to that guitar performance for sure. Love the lyrics here. Love just this connection to nature. Love how innocent this track feels. Next track is Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except Me and My Monkey. Oh wait, wasn't Why Don't We Do It in the Road? Wasn't that inspired by McCartney seeing two monkeys having sex in the road or something? Maybe this is a sequel.
Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on.
Whoa.
Take it easy.
Except this is Lennon. Okay. Woo!
Come on, it's such a joy. Come on, let's take it easy. Come on, let's
Take it easy.
take it easy.
Love these kind of shouty vocals. Love how clean that guitar tone is.
Your outside is out, your outside is in.
Hear the percussion on the left, that cowbell?
Everybody's got something to hide. Clap for me and my monkey.
Damn! Oh no, dude, I was just getting into it. Why'd they do that? Why'd they take it away from me just as I'm loving it? They rip it away from me, bro. That was so good. The energy, the shouty vocals, the yelling in the back, just the energy to everything. I love Lennon when he gets in that soulful just bag, you know? It's so good. The guitars on there were crazy. The percussion. Oh, so good. This second half, it's off to a really good start. Next track is Sexy Sadie.
Sexy Sadie, what have you done? You made a fool of everyone.
Whoa, that guitar tone, almost sounds like someone's voice.
You broke the rules.
It might be.
Oh, you broke the rules one sunny day. The world was waiting.
Yeah, that's my least favorite so far. I don't know, coming after just the energy of the past few tracks, just musically, that track didn't really move me that much. And I mean, like, literally, it didn't. The groove just felt kind of stale and just kind of lifeless. Interesting vocal performance by Lennon for sure. But yeah, overall musically just didn't really move me that much. Not terrible, but just probably one that I won't come back to that often. The next track is Helter Skelter. Now, I believe I mentioned Helter Skelter. Like, I just described one of the Beatles songs as Helter Skelter in one of the first reactions, and then I saw a comment that was saying, like, oh, just you wait. They have a song called Helter Skelter, so let's see if this is truly Helter Skelter. Is it going to live up to the name? Let's see. There's that punky bass again. Woo! Good vocal production. Yes! I love how insistent the crashes are. They're just... I love the octave jumps in the bass here. It's so simple, but so good. Damn. Oh, we still got a minute and a half. Whoa. The drums are crazy. Oh, that's screeching. You cannot, like, not move to this. It's crazy. Oh yeah, this is so Led Zeppelin. This is so Led Zeppelin, dude. This album's 1968. Led Zeppelin's first album came out in 1969. So
I got blisters on my fingers.
let's go, dude. Let's go. Ringo playing the drums so hard he got blisters, bruh. Yeah, first Led Zeppelin album, 1969. This album, 1968. So is this the kind of blueprint for Zeppelin? That's kind of crazy. I was thinking, like, feels like a mix of Zeppelin. It has some of, like, The Wire in there. Is that what they're called? Yeah, The Wire. I think Pink Flag is the album that I've heard from them. Especially with that kind of punky bass tone. And yeah, I love when the Beatles get into this heavy kind of bag here. It's just so fun, and I couldn't help but move to it. Do you think the Beatles were making these songs 50 years ago with the goal of having some young idiot like me and 50 years later just say, yeah, it's a banger, it's a banger, it's a banger, and not go any deeper than that? I think they would appreciate that. Okay, next track, Long, Long, Long. What a change of pace. So this is George. That vocal, the tenderness of that vocal. Nice organ. Wow. I just got chills. that guitar, like the ripping nature of that, so crazy. That was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was tender, but it also had kind of an unsettling feel to it. It felt like things were bubbling under the surface, but they never fully quite come up. Like with the drums, just kind of being very subtle for most of the time, just letting George and the guitars do most of the work. But then they come in with these fills every once in a while that just kind of throw you off a little bit. Love just how tender that vocal performance is. There was one moment where the harmonies were so beautiful, man. Next track is Revolution 1. Is this the long one? Is this the long? No, the long one's Revolution 9. Okay. Oh my god! This is so good. This feels kind of satirical in a way with how just like classic this chord progression feels in that bass line. But I imagine it's gonna kind of get crazy here. This kind of doo-wop feel. Dang. Piano. I feel like Kendrick Lamar's All Right kind of takes the spirit of this track and applies it to the modern era. You know, obviously the context around these things are pretty different. This is the 60s. This is kind of reflecting the social unrest at the time, and they're from two different perspectives, obviously, the Beatles being white men that have not experienced any sort of racism or anything like that, and Kendrick's being from a point of view that has experienced all of that. But like even just the idea of it's gonna be all right. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Kendrick's track somehow takes some sort of inspiration, and I hope that's not too ignorant of me to say as a white person too. But I feel like it's, I don't know, it there feels like there's a similar kind of spirit there. And I really do like that sentiment a lot. I think what holds me back from loving this track is that it doesn't lean, I don't know, it, like obviously it's this vibe of it's going to be all right. It's leaning into that peace and that joy instead of solving these problems with violence and hate. But I don't know, I feel like it could have leaned into a little bit more of that uneasiness in a way. Like how the track started, like I thought it was going to slowly divulge into something a little bit more crazy, but it just kind of stayed in this kind of doo-woppy, like classic, pretty, just kind of, I don't know, boring, bland area that I wasn't a huge fan of. So I think it could have benefited from a little bit more progression into maybe highlighting the underbelly of these issues. I don't know, there is something kind of pretty about not being oblivious, but just choosing to be happy and choosing to try to solve these issues with peace and love, you know. Kind of got this hippie vibe to it, which I love. I love that sentiment, but again, I think it just musically it didn't really do much for me. So next track is Honey Pie, and I feel like that's probably a hot take. I don't know. I feel like that's maybe one of those tracks that like Beatles fans love. But next track, Honey Pie. Let's go.
This is what I'd say.
Oh, nice slide there.
Honey pie, you are making me crazy.
So this is McCartney, right?
So won't you please
Yes,
come
okay.
home?
I guessed it. I knew it.
Honey pie, come back to me. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, honey pie, honey pie.
I don't know, like these songs, I feel like I was just reading the Genius blurb down here and it said that Paul's dad always listened to songs like this. And he said, this song isn't a parody, it's a nod to the vaudeville tradition that I was raised on. And that's like fine, obviously, like it's cool to hear that personal aspect to it. But it's one of those Beatles songs I'm not going to come back to. I'm sorry. There's like some really pretty musical moments. And I think lyrically, actually, it's pretty interesting here, this idea of this girl going over to the States, making it in Hollywood, but maybe leaving this guy, leaving him behind, maybe forgetting about him feeling left out in a way. It's kind of tragic in a way. It's kind of ironic and playing on that that idea of Hollywood dream. Yeah, not bad, but just not really for me. Next track is Savoy Truffle.
Cream tangerine, Montelimore.
Whoa. Savoy. Okay.
Cool cherry cream.
Nice. I love how his vocals are syncing up with that guitar here. Is this him using these foods, these desserts, as a metaphor for this girl, maybe? Wow. That's so wide in the headphones. That contrast between this thin little whiny guitar and then the horns that come in.
We all know the deep black dog.
There's a little callback.
Yes, you'll have to eat more.
Oh, it says George Harrison wrote this song for Eric Clapton, who was said to eat too much chocolate. Okay, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong in my assessment. I guess my mind's just in the gutter. I don't know why I thought, like... Oh, I'm not even going to say what I thought, but... I don't know, the language of, like, pulled out. I guess, yeah, pull out. You could have your teeth pulled out. Okay. Yeah, my mind's just in the gutter. Great track. I mean, production-wise, that was fantastic. I love, again, the contrast between that thin guitar and the wide horns that come in. Really fun song with a really unique song concept. Yeah, really good. Don't have too much to say other than that. Let's keep going. We got 3 more tracks. We have Cry Baby Cry, which is next, and then after that, we have Revolution 9, which I've heard a lot about in the comments. So, let's get into Cry Baby Cry.
For the queen,
Whoa.
the queen was in the parlor. So
Cry Baby Cry.
the queen was in the garden.
Nice.
For a friend.
Really good drums here.
Holiday.
Whoa.
Baby.
Damn. Those drums are crazy.
Making mother sad with voices out of nowhere, put on specially. She's old enough to know better. So cry, baby, cry. Can you take me back where I belong?
Whoa.
Can you take me back?
I really like the writing here. It feels like it's kind of taking this sympathetic point of view towards, I mean, if we're taking it literally, towards the child of, like, royalty, it looks like. Just that chorus is super interesting. That idea, cry baby cry, make your mother sigh, she's old enough to know better. It's time for Revolution 9. Bars. I saw the comment on the uncut reaction. What is in my hair? What the fuck? What the fuck is that? There's a piece of paper in there. I saw the comment on the uncut reaction. Dude, stop touching your hair. I know I gotta stop doing it, but I just gotta get a haircut. That's the thing, because if I don't fix it, I look stupid, and then you guys make fun of me. Just kidding. No, you don't. No one's ever commented that I look stupid. It's just me being insecure. Second last track, Revolution 9. It's 8.5 minutes. Let's see.
Number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9.
Yeah, it's a banger. It's a classic. Already.
Number 9.
Cool panning on that.
Number 9. Number 9.
This feels like the start of like an MF Doom track. What the? What the fuck? What the fuck? Why does this sound like a 2016 Travis Scott trap beat? You'd hear that in a trap beat. This is crazy already. What the fuck? Good. The crazy sampling. Maybe it's not sampling. I don't know. So this is the Beatles talking, right? This isn't a sample. Whoa. Whoa.
Number 9.
Crazy sound design. Even if it isn't actual samples, it's very like sound collage-y, you know? What's he saying? Ryan? Oh, right.
9.
Love it.
Number 9.
Wow. This is nightmarish.
nine, number nine,
Gotta love that sound. Sound of the embers. Some laser beams?
Financial imbalance. Take this, brother. May it serve you well.
Maybe even then, exposure is something that's how you say it. You become naked.
There it is. Revolution 9. I loved it. I loved it. Like I said, very sound collage. I don't obviously don't know this for sure, but it feels like this track is driven from or stems from a feeling of overstimulation almost. And obviously that's even worse now with the internet and how many things we can see like within a matter of seconds. But maybe at this time, 1968, maybe there was a bubbling sense of that overstimulation and that just feeling that there's too much, just being exposed to too much. And I think this last part here where it says maybe even then exposure could be a difficult thing. It's quick like a rush for peace is because it's so much. It was like being naked if you become naked. So it feels like a discomfort with that being exposed to just so many things and just feeling like there's just too much going on. Musically and sonically, the track feels like a representation of that as well, with just how many different sounds are coming in. It just never, there's just so many things that are hitting your ears that don't even stay there for that long. They just cut out and then move on to the next thing. And it feels like, even though there's so much going on, at the end of it, you come out feeling kind of empty. Because none of it really holds on for that long. None of it feels like it has any depth or weight or meaning to it. And I think this is what they're going for. Yes, there's a lot out there, and there's a lot hitting you with this song. So many sounds hitting you. But at least for me, what I came out of it feeling was numb and just feeling nothing. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I think that's, again, what the song is going for. That was great. This is obviously probably very groundbreaking at the time, very experimental. I mean, it's still experimental now, but very abstract. Yeah, let's keep going. On to the last track, Good Night. Okay. And I will say also, actually, before we get into that, Revolution 9 feels like a good portrayal of this album as well. This album has been so all over the place. Obviously, it's so super long. It's an hour and a half. There's so many ideas hitting you, and it feels like really painting that picture of variety and just an overabundance of things, you know? Oh, I'm tired. So this is Ringo Starr singing. We know from disc 1 that I don't love Ringo's voice. But
Sweet dreams for me. Good night, sleep tight for me. Sweet dreams. Night, everybody. Everybody, everywhere.
Thanks, Ringo. I'm gonna be honest. It feels kind of corny ending this album off with that. Like, I get what they're going for, especially after Revolution 9, the nightmare kind of overstimulation that was. To me, it feels a bit too on the nose. That is the White Album by the Beatles. That was a lot. I will say this. Okay, so musically, lyrically, stylistically, it does not, I don't know why I grabbed this, it does not feel like their most cohesive, most tight, most organized record, but I feel like it doesn't result in the album feeling as messy as I thought it was going to. Well, actually, no, it is messy. It is messy, but I think that's the theme. I think that's the idea, you know, and I think Revolution 9 really made that clear for me. Yes, it is messy, but I think that's what they're going for, you know, and I hate sometimes when people say, like, when they say, well, that's what they're going for, as like a cop out for what would be like a critique or like a negative to the album. If Revolution 9 wasn't on this album, I think this album would actually end up feeling a lot more disappointing than it does. I think Revolution 9 like single-handedly kind of saved this album and makes it make sense for me, which is kind of ironic because I think the point of the album is to kind of not make sense. But yeah, I think that single track kind of saves this album and makes it feel like a complete idea, and like there was purpose behind it. I think that's the main thing. Like, oftentimes we want to feel like there's purpose behind art, and if Revolution 9 wasn't there, this album would feel kind of directionless and purposeless. Overall, there's some tracks here that feel like they're paying homage to Styles. There's some satirical tracks. A lot of these, I love the start of the second half. That's probably my favorite part of this album in general, just the start of the second half with these like kind of Led Zeppelin-y blues rock tracks here that have a lot of energy to them. Those are some of my favorite Beatles tracks ever. You get some kind of like classic doo-wop stylings that I feel like are a little bit underwhelming, even if they have some personal significance to Paul, who is writing those. But yeah, overall, I don't feel as disappointed as I thought I was going to feel. Like, especially after the first disc, after I filmed that video, I was like, yeah, this feels really messy and kind of all over the place. But now, again, I'm going to say it again. I think that's the point. And I think it works. There you go. Those are my thoughts. Let me know any insights you have down below. And, of course, let me know if I got any of these vocalists wrong. Again, I think I was okay this time. I don't think I messed anything up. But that's what I thought after the first video. So maybe I did. Yeah, that's going to do it. Those are my thoughts. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut as well as part 1. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.